Welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the MarcWes Sports Podcast. I'm Marcus Benjamin.
I'm Wes.
Pierre.
You already know.
We talk about sports on this podcast. We'll get into a little hip hop. We're talking about fights.
Why not?
So we'll start it off with it's Saturday, college football, baby.
You already know.
It's a crazy COVID year, man. Like the best game to me on paper is Coastal Carolina and BYU.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy year just to 2020. But the Hurricanes still only have one loss on their records, so
you already know.
Good if you're a Hurricane fan.
It's all about the U.
But they play Duke today. Hopefully they cover the spread easily and come out and do what it do.
But come on, man. They going to handle that
y'all
shit.
had 2 weeks off, so I feel like you rested and you cleared up, COVID a little bit.
I think it's a trap game, though.
Rampant right now.
Yeah, but it's a trap game because, UM don't normally do good when they coming off a bye week. And we had 2 bye weeks. So that's the only thing that have me knocking the University of Miami right now. That history, the history. You told me about it. Every time we come off a bye, we normally lose. So
Right.
Hopefully
Except
it's not
for
like
last
that.
game.
Except for that last game.
So maybe this is a turn for the better.
Nah, but damn, last time it was 1 week. Now it's 2 weeks. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Back to back. You got to make it happen. And I think they can. I mean, you got those 2 weeks. I trust in what the new Miami,
You already know.
Manny Diaz is trying to do over there in Coral Gables.
Away from the Al Golden era, away from the Mark Richt era.
The golden era. That
the
was
golden
nothing
era,
but was anything but golden.
Exactly.
But
I think we're gonna see this
what
game.
happens.
This game is like a primetime game so far. They already know. I really don't like the primetime games with University of Miami. Why? Because I'm trying to
it feels
watch
like this
the game.
their fourth primetime game.
Yeah, but because I like it because it does help our future prospects as far as signees to join the University of Miami and what we're trying to build and what we're trying to do over here. But I don't like it because it kind of affects what I do personally. I'm trying to watch the games early, you feel me? And then when my dime get to the crib, we vibe. When we doing our thing, we could go out, we could, but when the University of Miami is playing, she already know I'm at the crib. I'm gonna be on the same couch right here watching the game on my flat screen that's hanging on the wall right now. But I think this is gonna be a real good game. Like I was saying earlier to you before, I think it's a trap game. Why? Because we wind up winning the last time we came from a bye week, but right now, they're really trying to test the University of Miami right now. The gods made us have to go ahead and give them a 2-week bye week. So this is our game today against Duke. We're playing at 8:00. I think that the University of Miami gonna do what they normally do. We got Davenport coming back. That suffered.
Davenport.
Not Davenport. I'm saying Davenport.
He's coming back.
Donaldson. Nave Donaldson is coming back from a knee injury.
Yeah,
he's
Donaldson.
the biggest offensive lineman that we do have on the University of Miami. Of course, our offensive line been looking, better than average from the, the golden area, with the Al Golden. I think that the University of Miami, having him come back, having possibly Brevin Jordan coming back, and having some
he
more
should be
time
back
to
in this game.
rest. Yeah, he's gonna come back. We got some key starters coming back to the University of Miami today versus Duke. Again, the only thing that me personally have me knocking the University of Miami is we normally don't do good when we come from a bye week. Last time adversity called and we wind up handling our business, but this time it's 2 weeks off. Of course, it's all about the U. I put my faith in the U, so I think that we're going to go ahead and do it. But history is history, and it may not look good for the University of Miami. Hopefully, I'm wrong, and my loyalty speaks for itself, and we wind up doing what we do. And I think the University of Miami is going to do their thing today. And what do you think the University of Miami is going to do today, Marcus?
Hopefully cover the spread. You know, the odds are slim for the Hurricanes to really get to the playoff. You know,
It's all good. It's all good.
I just seen it was like 0.6 a chance for the Hurricanes to make the actual playoffs. So we hanging on a 0.6
It's cool.
West, but something that can increase our chances with that 0.6 is a quarterback, right? And the news came out this week that Jake Garcia, rated as high as a 5-star player, could be rumored to maybe committing to Miami.
Yeah, he had to decommit from USC to start that rumor, and I enjoyed the rumor when I looked on Google. You know, when I wound up seeing that he decommitted from the University of Miami, not University of Miami, but the University of USF, USC. I was like, hold up. I liked it, but I didn't like it because I want De'Aaron King to come back, and you know, if he wind up doing that, he may have swirlings or heard something about De'Aaron King going into the draft. Hopefully that's not the case, and De'Aaron King stays for another year, and you know, he wind up coming from USC and joining the University of Miami, and you know, learning from the veteran De'Aaron King, and he passed the mantle on to him. But I like the move. I like the not even a move, but the swirl in the air about him possibly joining the Canes. We always enjoy quarterbacks, especially when they're 5-star quarterbacks. The only difference that I really don't too much like is that he's a pro-star football player, and that means that he's gonna stay in the pocket and he's gonna go ahead and probably not be able to run out of the pocket. Now it's different. It's a different era. Normally, even though you're not doing like a Lamar Jackson or De'Aaron King, you know, these type of players. But for the most part, most pro style quarterbacks, unless they're just like don't have no agility or anything, no speed, will be able to get out of the pocket and gain a few yards. Again, you may not be able to compare these guys to the Lamar Jacksons when he played in college football, and the Mike Vicks and the Kyler Murrays, you know, that did their thing scrambling when they were in college football. But he may be able to scramble enough to possibly get a few yards and possibly a first down. So yeah, you know, I like that swirl in the air. Hopefully it come into fruition, and the University of Miami wind up picking up another commitment to the University of Miami. But we'll see.
I mean, they need another commitment out of the quarterback position. I mean, if they could secure another commitment, it would be solid for this class, which is already solid already. Seen some last night that, you know, I'll get into with the Benjamin Report later on. But definitely the future could be bright at quarterback. And there's two quarterbacks that are former Hurricane quarterbacks who are already vouching for Garcia, which are Brad Kaya and Gino Torretta. So I did see his tape. I mean, he looks pretty good. I mean, but he looks just as good as the backup that we have right now, who is Tyler Van Dyke.
Okay.
So you got two quarterbacks that are potentially could be at least good for next season if De'Aaron King decides to leave or not. But if he stays, man, that's a plus. That's definitely a big plus.
Why not?
You know, if him and Borgala stays, and we already have the punter for another year. Sir, you have all of those positions pretty much locked down. So you got some recruits coming in next cycle that potentially could get on the field as well. I think they win this game tonight. I think they win pretty handily. Hope they don't keep it a close game. I mean, why not? They keep every game close on the road. I mean, so this is a stay away, like I said during the other podcast. But some other
Hold up, before we
games.
even jump into that, you know, I just looked at my phone and I noticed that it said defensive tackle Savion Collins decommits from you know, the University of Miami, and I'm like, you know,
Savion Collins did decommit.
Like, what are you doing over here, my boy?
He from what I hear, you know, from other, you know, journalists who saw him play recently. I did see him play recently about 2 weeks.
Okay.
He didn't show up, you know, so I'm not sure if they backed off. It seemed like possibly the Hurricanes backed off of the commitment with him.
Now, when you say he didn't show up, what you mean he didn't show up?
Sometimes he's not in the game, you know, and when he's in the game, he, you know.
So he literally didn't show up.
Yeah, but sometimes when he does play, you know, he wasn't visible, and he's a big dude.
Oh, so, you know, I guess
So
I guess that
exactly.
He didn't want to get exposed is probably what you're trying to say, you know, for being a guy that didn't have that motor, you know, because if you're not showing up in the game, that means that you're not giving 110%, you know. Now, you know,
or he could be nursing an injury that they're keeping, you know.
Hopefully is that. But 9 out of 10 times is not that, you know. And 9 out of 10 times, if you're not in the game, you know, great players want to be in the game, you know, especially in high school football when they know they got a lot of big schools gunning for them. You know, they want to be on the field. They want to have that tape. They want to have enough tape for whichever school to go ahead and give them that scholarship. You know, so just the plain fact that he wound up being committed from the University of Miami, I don't feel too much about it. Why? Because I fuck with niggas that's loyal. You know, I like people that do what they say and say what they do, you know. And if you're a person that committed to the University of Miami and you want to go ahead and decommit right now because you be disappearing in high school football, then we don't need you, you know. If you wind up coming back, you know, then I already got a little taste in my mouth towards you, which is not sweet. It's a little sour. I'm you know, I'm gonna root for you, you know, because I want everybody in the hood to win, especially some people that play football, and we know that that's an avenue for you to get out of the hood and help your family.
Right.
But
we still root for decommits. Teddy Bridgewater decommitted from Miami.
Yeah, I
still root for him.
Yeah, but yeah, he decommitted, but I understood why he decommitted because, you know, Randy Shannon, he committed to Randy Shannon, and Al Golden came through, and I understand why, because we seen what Al Golden did to the University of Miami. So he did the best thing that he could do and go to Louisville and do his thing. So when it's in a situation like that, I understand. But when it's in a situation like right now with the University of Miami doing their thing, only have one loss, and we're finding ways to reach adversity and wind up winning these games, we have this guy decommitting from the use of the University of Miami, and the same guy is disappearing in high school football. So again, you know, it is what it is. I wish you well. I hope that you wind up doing your thing. But you know, we did want you, probably still want you, but if you gonna come to the University of Miami, you got to get your mind right.
Yo, I think we should do like a segment on the fly right here.
What's that?
So I feel like with college football, let's just pick like an upset of the week, you know?
Okay.
Because, you know, there's gonna be an upset today.
Hopefully, it ain't the University of Miami.
We can see in like who gets the most upsets right now.
Okay.
So I'll run off like a couple games and, you know, tell me if there's gonna be an upset.
What game is that?
Tennessee and Florida. LSU, Alabama.
LSU, Alabama is a rivalry game. You know, they definitely hate each other.
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. That's a game that I really would love a upset because it does help the University of Miami, you know, as far as in the ACC. But you know, that's just, you know, asking to win the lottery. You know, I don't think that's gonna happen as far as with that game. I think Clemson's gonna do their thing. Clemson's gonna go ahead. They didn't look good that that great last week, you know, but, you know, they found a way to win. Nobody cares how you won the game. They just ask, did you win the game? You know what I'm saying? I don't really think with these games it won't be too much of an upset, but I hope for an upset. I hope for Clemson to lose. That helps the University of Miami. But again, when it comes to games like Florida versus Tennessee, I think Florida, they're a well-oiled machine right now. They're doing their thing. Of course, mind you, I hate Florida. I hate the Gators. You know, I root for FIU before the Gators, you know. So, but me, this is sports podcast, and we're gonna give you the real. So I don't think it's gonna be an upset with Tennessee versus Florida. Florida's gonna do their thing, but Alabama, Nick Saban with LSU, I do think it may, even though we know that LSU sucked this year, you know, they had a quarterback change.
So you think it's gonna be an upset?
It can be. It LSU. Can be. And I definitely he's
LSU's
like the evil empire. He's like when you look at Nick Saban, you look at Bill Belichick. We hate both the motherfucking coaches. They have all of the accolades, but a lot of people do not like them. A lot of people do not have a salty taste, especially us. We're loyal Dolphin fans. And this motherfucker said that will not be the quarterback, not the quarterback, but the head coach of Alabama. And the next day, not a month later, the next day, he was the head coach of Alabama. So again, when it comes down to it, like me, I look at it, you know, it is what it is. I hope that they lose. I hope that is an upset, and I do hope that LSU upset Alabama, you know, and that's what you got from me when it comes to loyalty with people. Again, do what you say what you do.
I'm gonna go with West Virginia and Iowa State. You know, I just feel like the Big 12, they score a lot of points, and like maybe it'll happen. Iowa State they rank number 9 right now, and West Virginia's not ranked, so West Virginia is gonna beat Iowa State. I think that's my upset special.
Okay, I could agree with that one. Yeah. It's all good.
So, let's transition to the Duck of the Week, though, man.
Oh, no.
The Duck of the Week, is what's the dude's name from the high school that, like...
we got... No. First, we got 2 Ducks of the Week. You know, it's not just Duck of the Week. One person made history on the MarcWes Sports Podcast, and her name is Larsa Pippen. You gonna go with the Texas high school football player first? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Motherfucking defensive tackle. What's his name? Emmanuel Duran. This motherfucker is a gook. You feel me? This motherfucker got kicked out of the game for a sportsmanlike conduct with the referee. And what did this motherfucker decide to do? On Marcus, his ass decided to go run onto the field.
He pulled the water boy, man. He was like,
Bobby Boucher in this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's what he did.
Come on, don't talk about my mama.
What the hell is wrong with his Adula Abgumgada? You know, like, seriously. I mean, come on. What's wrong with you, bro? He deserved to be in handcuffs at the end of that game.
Yeah, this motherfucker wind up tackling the referee that kicked him out of the game for unsportsmanlike conduct. I think he's committed to which college football team? Oh, no, we don't know. Whoever it is that we right now we don't really remember who wind up he has a scholarship for, but whoever it is, whoever was watching his ass,
if he had one, he lost.
He lost that motherfucker at that same time. But he wind up tackling the referee, an old man. You know, and wind up leaving the football game in handcuffs. And some people going to ask me, do you think that he should have been left with handcuffs for what he did on the field, you know, and charged with assault? I definitely think that he should have been charged with assault. I definitely think he should have been left in handcuffs, you know, because you got to understand, you got to control you got to control your emotions in life. And it's a game.
It is football.
It's football, and not just that. But you tackled the motherfucker wearing pads.
For some reason, like if he did it to his coach, like I feel like I could understand more. Because the coaches be, they be getting under your skin, bro.
Understandable.
They be poking you. You know, and I'm just like,
the crazy thing, I seen that on the Deion Sanders show when Deion Sanders and I guess the defensive coach was getting on a high school football player for not doing this, that, and the other, and he wanted to fight the coach. And, Deion Sanders and the coach wound up saying, like, we ain't going to do this. You off the team. Right. You off the team. He wound up crying, wanting to apologize, this, that, and the other. They told him to call his mom and his dad to come pick him up. And the kid, he finally found out, what corporal punishment without the whipping is going to do to you. You got your parents at home that play on that wind up paying all this money to hopefully have you be successful in a career, and you wind up wanting to fight the same people that's trying to wish for the best for you. So understandable. You got players that can't control their anger, and this is why you play football. You play football to exert that anger on the field, but not like that.
Beat up refs, certainly. Just
definitely not to beat up refs.
Don't beat up your teammates. Don't beat up your coaches.
Discipline.
Just beat up the other side of the football.
Discipline. And
absolutely, he deserves an assault charge.
He was elderly. The guy was elderly, Chris.
Like,
come on,
the Duck of the Week. I don't. What's his name again?
Emmanuel Duran. You deserve everything.
Where's he from, though?
He's from somewhere in Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Somewhere in Texas.
I mean, they serious about their football up there. But
understandable.
That's when taking it serious goes wrong.
Exactly.
Don't do it. Flag on it.
The football team was like playing for like something. They won.
They
were supposed to go to the next level, but the whole team got kicked out.
So Chris just gave us this statement about how they were supposed to be going. The football team was actually a good team.
So now
and they got kicked out because of this. This move. Yeah, the tomfoolery that this guy wind up.
You just mess it up for all your teammates who wanted to keep going and win and
Idiota.
show off some tape and get that bag. Nah, you trying to take bags away from people.
Idiota, malandrin. You feel
like
me? Exactly.
And a duck that you are.
So the next duck of the week that we're gonna jump on is a bid night. A motherfucking bid night. Just like Manny Fresh said, we got motherfucking bid nights in this motherfucker. We got thoughts in this motherfucker. And thoughts mean them hoes over there. Them hoes that's ready for whatever. And that's the girl that wind up making history on the MarcWes Sports Podcast. Her name is Larsa Pippen. Now, Larsa Pippen, I ain't gonna lie.
Pippen? I don't even know one Pippen. And that's Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, man.
And who don't know Scottie Pippen?
Scottie Pippen is the guy that won the championships with the greatest player in NBA history.
Maybe the best two of all time.
And probably the best two of all time.
Maybe
Scottie Pippen.
Time.
Three. He wound
maybe
up
the
having
best 3-and-D guy of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's
but
definitely
Larsa
top
Pippen.
3.
Guess what this motherfucking dime done just did? Larsa Pippen is the ex-wife of Scottie Pippen. She wind up being caught in another escapade. You feel me? When she wind up getting caught cheating with what's his name? Malik Beasley. I think he played for the Minnesota Timberwolves in the NBA. But he's no. She's the matter of fact. Let me change that. She's the homewrecker sleeping with a married man. Malik Beasley is married to me and Marcus. Matter of fact, before we jumped on the podcast, we had to go ahead and look at the wife, like how she looking, and she was looking right.
Right.
It's like, why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure she can do everything that Larsa Pippen is doing, especially since Larsa Pippen is a little older than you.
Right.
Now she still hold her own. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, she looking right. You feel me? Bout in all the right spots. You feel me? But again, I'm a married man also, and I definitely don't respect that shit. Malik Beasley, you got a wife at home. I'm not sure if you have kids, but you got to understand when you do certain shit, there's a lot of things that you're going to wind up giving up.
There's lines you don't cross.
Like, the lines that you don't cross.
Lines you just don't cross.
I was telling Marcus and Chris, I'm like, damn, if I wind up doing some dumb shit like that, I know my wife, she's going to take the house. She's definitely gonna take Tyson. Like Tyson is dog, my best friend, man's best friend, my dog. The house. And he's gonna be gone too. There's a lot of things that you're gonna give up. I'm not willing to risk all that shit for a little bit of butt. And butt for other motherfuckers that don't know what it is the sack. Sack for motherfuckers that don't know slang is the pussy. You feel me? And I'm not gonna go ahead and throw away all that for a little bit of piece of that pie. You feel me? But again, how do you feel about that situation that she wound up getting?
You can't do that, man.
Doing her thing.
It's just a bunch of dirty things happen, very sloppily,
and
so many puns intended.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's sloppy work, and it's unfortunate that young Pip out there has got to grow up and be kind of deal with a situation like that. They gonna be like, oh yeah, you mama who, that's
damn. The crazy thing. You feel me? Like, cause they got kids.
Yeah,
Pippen got kids with this motherfucking mangler. You feel me? And the crazy thing is that
Scottie Pippen is actually a good player too, a junior out playing for Vanderbilt, so probably will be drafted. There's a lot of juniors out there. I gotta say, you got Hardaway Jr., you got LeBron Jr.,
you got LeBron Jr., Wade Jr., all these motherfuckers out here, and then you got a motherfucker that his motherfucking mom is still a thought, you know what I'm saying, at an old age. You feel me? Like, so again, one of these questions is like, damn, if my mom was a thought like that, I'm wondering how, and not just that, she's a thought, but I'm a famous individual. Again, my dad played with Michael Jordan, considered the GOAT, in this motherfucker. And that the cameras is on me, just like LeBron's son, just like Wade's son, just like all these motherfuckers that their players accomplish just greatness like in son. The NBA. Oh yeah, Magic. We're not even gonna jump on that. No. We're not gonna do that there. We're not even gonna jump on that. I had to say it, man. I had to say it. Don't all of them go that Magic. You feel me? But hey, no. I'm not even gonna give him the platform on our show, to even try to even give him any type of thing. But yeah, how would you feel if motherfucking you was Scottie Pippen Jr.?
I'd feel hurt, bro.
Not just hurt. You wouldn't feel embarrassed. You wouldn't be mad at the OG.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's like your OG smashing the co-worker, smashing the homies. Your old girl smashed the homies.
Yeah, I'd feel hurt that I would have to live with that. Yeah. I got to live with some shit like that. I got to explain this shit. It's just not a good look. So it's just a bad look. Yeah. If she changed her last name, she'll be all right. Like, people be like, who's that? Oh, Scottie Pippen's ex.
And of course, like Chris
definitely
just said,
she's
she's
not
not even with Pippen no more, and she want to keep the last name. But the thing is, like a scorned woman.
When a woman's fed
up, like R. Kelly said, ain't nothing you could do about that.
Ain't nothing you could do about that.
You feel me? Like. So I'm looking at the situation
where hits, man.
With Larsa Pippen.
Give it to him. Unfortunately, whatever.
Yeah. But Larsa Pippen, I'm looking at the situation and I'm like, I'm watching how she's moving, and I'm wondering, was she a hoe before or after being with Scottie Pippen? Because you gotta because you gotta understand, like you're a basketball player, one of the greatest tools of all time, if not the best tool of all time. You play with the GOAT, so I'm wondering if you wind up getting tired of this motherfucker smashing all these females when he's on the road, and then you just wind up doing what he do. You know, it may, I mean, it's not the same thing because, when it comes to niggas, when it comes to men just fuck something. When it comes to females, they have more emotions evolved in that little
that
fuck.
transaction.
You feel me? That transaction. You feel me? Ching ching. You feel me? But again, I don't know. I still don't respect it. Why? Because I'm married and Beasley, you should have known better, man. You got a bad little vibe at the crib. I done seen her, like damn.
You married, man. Just
exactly.
Chill, bro.
Like when you
life is
stepped on
good.
that
You're
altar,
an NBA player, man. Like what's the problem?
and not just that, but when you stepped at that altar, motherfucker, you should have known what it was. And not just that, when you got all that money, is it worth losing all that?
Nah,
you feel me? She got evidence now. Now you got to pay child support if you got kids with her. Now you got to give her spousal support because you got the evidence. It's like what are you doing? Like the Dom smashed everybody, Future, everybody. Like, come on, man. That's why Scottie Pippen is not with her no more because she's a motherfucking floozy. That's how them white people call it. She's a floozy. She's a fast one. She a thought. She a midnight. She a mangler. She a scut. You feel me? Whatever you want to call her, that's what she is. And you chose to smash her.
Yeah, she was very sloppy, just as mature that WAP is,
Sloppy.
Sometimes you get caught in the matrix, and that matrix is that WAP sometimes. But obviously she didn't make the right he didn't make the right decision. But what do you think about Houston making the decision with choosing John Wall over Russell Westbrook?
That was the dumbest fucking move that they could have fucking made. You got to understand, first thing and foremost, I definitely don't think Harden is a leader. Harden is not a leader. Harden is not an alpha male, and that's the reason why. Same thing with KD. KD's not an alpha male also. That's why he had the burner accounts and shit like that, because he can't say that shit on his fucking account. Me, I'm the type of motherfucker, if I got something to say to your ass, I'm going to tell your ass. I don't need a motherfucking pretend I'm somebody else saying this shit, even though whatever you're saying is valid. So, again, Russell Westbrook, even though I don't think that he has that shot, that if he had the shot, he probably would be considered the best point guard in NBA history, because the motherfucker he's a living triple-double. I understand that, but he really don't have the consistent shot. Get that consistent Westbrook and all these, and shut all these motherfuckers up. But again, going back to the question, do I think that it was a better deal? Nah, I think the people that actually won was the Wizards. The Wizards wind up getting someone that is an alpha male. And not just that, he got someone that can actually shoot the ball, and not just that, but availability is the best ability. Availability, just like Mark has been saying, and John Wall, you've been injured for the longest. I don't remember the last time you played. You know what I'm saying? So again,
that's what I'm really talking about. Like John Wall, when was the last time we seen you play? And y'all gonna invest in a player that is coming off of, I believe, an Achilles injury, and then that freak injury where he slipped off of something in his house. Like you're really gonna trust your franchise with that? Like I really think that's more of a statement of, wow, you really don't value Westbrook. I feel like Westbrook still, even though he doesn't have the consistent shot, like Wes said, he still is productive. He gives you a lot of rebounds, assists. He can play defense. But the thing that Westbrook needs to really improve on is his decision making. Like if he just made the right decision or he passed it off, a little bit more, he would be all right. When he was playing with OKC, sometimes he passed off because it was KD there, and he felt like, okay, it's KD. I can trust KD, But I don't think he felt like he trusts anybody at this point. So he'd rather trust himself, which is a scary thing, But I still wouldn't do it if I was Houston. I would keep Russell Westbrook, not trust John Wall. That is just, to me, ridiculous. Harden is obviously a player that is now shopping himself, man. Like the beard feels like, his shit don't stink. and he's trying to go wherever he feels is going to give him a better chance to win. That, or he just doesn't trust Houston. And based on that move right there, like, why would you trust that franchise anyway? You know? So, but the real thing is, like, would you see him on the Heat, though? You know, because James Harden, because we saw that come out this week. We did see that come out this week, that James Harden to the Heat, which really doesn't work because James Harden doesn't play in defense. You know? Like, if you could get him for the low, if you get James Harden for the low, maybe he's worth it. But it's not going to happen. Like, he's going to be asking for big-time bread because he feel like his shit don't stink. But sometimes he just doesn't show up in the big moments. And he did that this year.
Sometimes or all times.
In the playoffs.
He doesn't show up in big times. He doesn't play defense. You're paying this motherfucker all this money to be a number one, but number ones play defense. Number one shoots the ball. All you do is you're a good shot. But again, there's a lot of motherfuckers that know how to shoot and they ain't win no rings. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that was the reason why you was the sixth man in OKC when you played the Miami Heat in the finals. Because, yeah, you can shoot, but there's a lot of things about your game that you're lacking. Number one is defense. Number one is motherfucking being an alpha male. That's why you wanted on Westbrook off of the Houston Rockets. You know, same thing with Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a alpha male. And when did you do good again in playoffs? When he was on the actual team. Everybody that's going to motherfucking check your ass for fucking up and doing dumb shit, you want to go ahead and get him off the team. But again, it is what it is, you know. I don't mind, even if you wind up going to Brooklyn, you know, eventually, which I think that you want to go ahead and do. I don't think it's going to be this year. But I definitely feel like you're a player that has a lot of holes in your game, and all the holes in your game is showing. Number one is defense. So there was swirls about you possibly joining the Miami Heat. I'm not trying to trade nobody for your ass because you can't motherfucking play defense, and our culture is defense. When it comes to the shooting, cool, no problem, you know. But again, even Duncan Robinson try to play some type of defense. You don't try to do shit.
It's not always good, but at least he tries.
Trying.
You know, I mean, the Heat did find out this week too that we playing on Christmas, baby. You know, the Pelicans. We're playing the Pelicans first game. You know, so we're playing against Zion. It's really
couldn't get denied that shit.
It's really just Zion against the Heat, which is cool. But at least we get on Christmas. We haven't been on Christmas for like the past 2 years. You know, so you know that was like the best thing that came out this week. The schedule did come out this week. I didn't really get to take a look at it, but I did see. Yeah, we should win that game.
We're definitely going to win that fucking game.
It's going to be a great Christmas. And it's early, too.
And
so we get it out the way.
Open my motherfucking presents.
Get it out the way. We get to see what happens with these other games. I think Golden State plays that day, and Cleveland, of course. Not Cleveland. I'm still calling them Cleveland, the Lakers. I'm still putting LeBron on fucking
that's where his bitch ass need to be.
Cleveland.
NBA
Yeah. So the NBA did come out this week with that they're not going to test for marijuana, which makes the NBA undefeated, man. The NBA stay undefeated in 2020 if you except for the fact that, you know, the Lakers won, which is kind of wasn't in their control, I guess, but it still happened on their watch, so fuck them.
Exactly.
But still, you know, like they're still undefeated for getting the least amount of players affected with COVID. It really was timing, and they really picked the best teams and put them in the bubble, you know. So of course that worked. Let's see what happens this time, because the NBA does start this month. It is December, you know. Like we're already in December, which is kind of crazy.
I don't mind.
I'm ready to get to 2021, like for real. But like I'm glad it's going fast. But yeah. So the fact that they're not testing for weed, I feel like it's going to be an ongoing trend. feel like this is gonna be something that is gonna continue with other sports.
It's gonna be an ongoing trend.
It's gonna be pretty much legal. I feel in 5 years.
It's gonna be an ongoing trend because the NFL already announced that they're doing the same thing that the NBA is doing. They're not gonna be doing these randomly drug tests, for certain shit. So it's all good. I understand everybody's. They're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, but you gotta understand they're human just like us. They gotta take a little tote sometimes, just like the individuals that actually do smoke marijuana. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. The NFL, they stubborn as fuck. Even though I always, and I'm gonna definitely agree with you. The NBA #1 in 2020 in regards to how they actually move.
They undefeated, baby.
They undefeated.
Well, with technicality.
But yeah,
it's an asterisk.
But yeah, definitely
everything is asterisk.
Yeah, it's an asterisk. Especially that win that the Lakers got against the Heatles.
You might as well call this year asterisk.
It is what it is. But again, going back.
Like, you remember what happened in that asterisk year?
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna call 2020.
But yeah, you got the NFL saying that they're not gonna do the same thing that the NBA did. So do I think that it's gonna be something trending, something for the future? Yes, because of course, we know that a lot of people have been lied to about marijuana. Marijuana do has some good and its bad aspects, of course, to it. I'm not gonna go dive into it at this segment right now. But again, I think it's a good move. They definitely know what everyone in the world is going through COVID. A lot of people are drinking. A lot of people want to smoke. You don't want to go ahead and reprimand these individuals for doing certain things to cope with the situation that they're dealing with.
Yeah,
right now
I mean, I'm definitely smoking over drinking. It's what I always say. And that's always been my stance.
Shit, but damn shit. I mean, if I could smoke, I would smoke, but
alcoholic, problematic drinkers are worse than problematic weed smokers.
Exactly.
But he smoked right before his fight.
Who? Of course, Tyson smoked before.
Of course, Tyson smoked before.
Of course, Tyson. So Tyson comes out and says he smoked before the fight. So and how good did he look? Man. So, come on, man. Weed is from the earth.
He has
God put this here for you and me.
You feel me?
Take advantage, man.
His own
Take advantage.
What did they fucking expect? I mean, he has his own smoking show. I seen him smoke while he's interviewing motherfuckers.
Friday, man.
So yeah. So it's understandable, man. I can't knock Tyson, But again,
Friday is still one of the best movies to me of all time. We gotta do best movies. We gotta do best movies one of these days.
Come on. You got Smokey and all the motherfuckers. But the next topic that we're gonna jump on is what the NFL is the motherfucking Dolphins.
Yeah,
the motherfucking Fins are going to go ahead and play the garbage Cincinnati Bengals. The garbage Cincinnati Bengals that didn't do what Miami's doing. Before they drafted their quarterback and trying to fix that offensive line, but again, the Miami Dolphins play the Cincinnati Bengals without their starting quarterback, Joe Burrow, starting quarterback #1 pick Joe Burrow. Like I said before, there's no need to actually play Tua in this game. Of course, I told you that they were gonna try to finesse everyone and say this, that, and the other. It's an injury, this, that, blah, 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 blah. But, again, he wind up not being able to play last week. We wind up putting Fitzpatrick in the game, and Fitzpatrick has been doing his thing. So if these individuals are actually doing their thing, and why change things? Fitzpatrick is going to jump in this game. They don't have their starting quarterback, and I think the Miami motherfucking Dolphins are going to do what they've been doing right now and finding a way to win. It doesn't matter if it's all offense. It don't matter if it's all defense, but hopefully this is a game that we can go ahead and keep resting Solomon Kidney. We can keep resting Preston Williams. We can keep resting certain individuals on our team to kind of look. I know they say not to look ahead, but look ahead to being healthy for the playoffs, which I think the Miami Dolphins will wind up doing this season. So this game is a no-brainer for me. Normally I talk a little bit more about the Miami Dolphins, but again, they do not have their starting quarterback. They're injury plagued. They're thinking about the draft right now and having certain stars around Joe Burrow, offensive line, wide receivers, because A.J. Green, he's a bust right now in 2020. We're not talking about 2019 and previous. We're talking about 2020, and he hasn't been doing his thing. I don't really think he's played in a lot of games, if any games. And when he did play, he hasn't gave 100%. That's the product of paying a man. And when you get your money, you feel like you good. Fuck it. So I think the Miami Dolphins are going to go ahead and continue on their pace. Xavier Howard will definitely get another pick. Score? The final score is probably fucking 28 to 14. 28 to 14, Miami Dolphins.
28 to 14. Okay, so you're close on the spread again. The spread,
really? Damn.
The spread is 11, so you think they cover at least by 3. And I'm going to actually disagree with you when it comes to the spread on this. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that. I feel like the Dolphins win this game. If Fitzpatrick plays, that's really, the telling sign of how this game's going to go. Are you going to get Fitzmagic or are you going to get Fitztragic? Are you going to get Fitztragic that throws interceptions in this game, or are you going to get Fitzmagic that could throw 4 to 5 touchdown passes?
But you think about the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals.
I mean, but the Cincinnati Bengals are an NFL team. Yeah, they were close in every game.
Come on, Marcus. Don't do me like that.
They were close in every game. Pretty much every game this year. Yeah, they lost their quarterback.
Marcus, come
on. They had a chance to win last week, too, so I feel like this is a team that covers.
Everybody has a
honest.
motherfucking chance, but
I do feel like the Dolphins do win the game just because of their defense, and they're playing with a backup quarterback. So quarterback is going to be 10 points to me at the most.
Exactly.
But the Dolphins offense, you can only trust them for like a good 24 points. So, which is, of course, 14, which is, of course, the same point total that West just said it would be.
Oh, really? Damn. That's a crazy thing because
maybe I do think the Dolphins will cover.
Yeah, the Dolphins definitely going to cover, but the crazy thing is like how I be getting these
It's funny how I be just talking my shit out of my own picks and shit.
Hopefully you guys are making money off these picks, and learning a little something. Right now we're going to go ahead and transition to another good game. We got a good defense in the Rams, and we have a great offense in the Cardinals. Now, of course, last week the Cardinals didn't look that great. They lost to the New England Patriots. Remember, I told you that Kyler Murray, he had a AC joint injury, and I'm thinking right now it still may affect him. I don't think that one game or 7 days of healing and resting. And I don't even think you had 7 days of healing because you got to train, you got to go through your reps and stuff like that. So possibly 3 games of really sitting down and not really using your arm and your shoulder. I think that he's still going to be coddling that injury. Hopefully they do win. Why? Because I do like Kyler Murray as a quarterback. I really do not like the Arizona Cardinals, but I do like DeAndre Hopkins also. The Rams, like I said, the Miami Dolphins did their thing with the Rams, but it depends on if the Cardinals going to go ahead and study certain teams that actually been there with the Rams and knew what to do as far as containing Goof. And not having him scramble out of the pocket and doing any type of bootlegs, because when you give him time out of the pocket, he's definitely going to make you pay for it. So hopefully the Cardinals can pull that off. Hopefully Kyler Murray can go ahead and be at least 90% healthy. And even if he's 90% healthy, I think that he's a better quarterback than Jared Goff. for everybody. Goff, for people that don't know who we're talking about. Jared Goff, the starting quarterback of the Rams. I think that shark, Garf, you feel me? You know, Garf, you know, Garf, like Goofy be doing, Goof you know. But yeah, Goof Troop.
Goof Troop is an underrated cartoon, man.
Exactly.
It's underrated.
So I think that the Cardinals gonna go ahead and pull this off. As far as I think it's gonna be a close game because I think both defense are real good defense. Of course, you got the Incredible Hulk and Aaron Donald. He's gonna do his thing. Ramsey should have been back. I haven't really watched the Rams, but I think it's gonna be a good game, close game, and score? I think that 32-28.
32
with the Cardinals
28.
winning.
Cardinals winning. I'm gonna go Rams on this one, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think the Rams actually get a good running game going because I feel like they running backs is finally healthy, and Goof is similar to Tannehill to me as far as quarterbacking is concerned. Like, as long as they got a running game, they can be pretty consistent because once they're under pressure, you know, you asking them to make a play, oh, that's too much. You know, they like, that's you know,
true, true.
I'm not one of these guys. I'm not a Marvel hero. Mm-hmm. You know, there are some quarterbacks out there to me that are Marvel heroes, you know, like, right. Pat Mahomes is a Marvel hero. Aaron Rodgers is a Marvel hero. You know, Russell Wilson sometimes can be a Marvel hero, you know, like Tannehill and Jared Goff. Nah, they're not. They're not even close to these guys, man. They're not even vigilantes. You know, fuck that. So, but I still feel like the Rams are the team that's gonna make it out of this division as the extra playoff team. The Niners, who I think is actually a better team right now, but they just lost too many games.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I don't think they'll make it just based on numbers. So the Rams, to me, I feel like it's going to be that team. And it's December. So December are the games that they remember, you know, in football. So you got to win these games. Once you win these games, you make the playoffs, you win Super Bowls, championships, or whatnot. So we'll see what happens in that game, but I think the Rams beat the Cardinals in a close game. Give me 29-25.
Okay. So, you know, perfect segue for our next topic. You know, we got the Patriots versus the Chargers. You know, we got the Patriots that's still fighting. They're still in the run to make the playoffs. And we got the Chargers with their young quarterback and
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, and
you believe in Justin Herbert now?
Nah, I don't believe in him. I think that he's a good quarterback, but again, you know, that's the whole reason why Eli Manning didn't want to go to the Chargers. Some teams just have a legacy of being garbage. So yeah, you wind up going. You could be a good quarterback, but regardless of the fact, you're gonna give us
their
these
coach
numbers.
is definitely on the hot seat. For
sure.
Yeah,
he's definitely not.
I mean,
he's gonna be gone. That's not even if and bust about it. You know, he's gonna be gone at the end of the season, especially if he do not find a way to win these close games, and these close games that he find a way to lose every fucking time. You know, Brian Flores find a way to win, he finds a way to lose. Both of them are good coaches, but one of them, you know, just don't have luck on his side. So I'm happy that we got the coach that do have luck on his side. But as far as that game, you know, I think it's going to be the same thing. You know, you got the evil empire in Bill Belichick. He's going to find a way to want to go ahead and win that game. You know, he's going to go ahead and expose this coach and this young quarterback for who they are. And that's being young. You know, you're young at the helm. And even though you got the coach, you're a great mind, and the quarterback, you're a good quarterback, you know, possibly a great quarterback. You know, it's too early to tell. But again, you know, Bill Belichick and the evil empire going to find a way to cheat, going to find a way to expose certain things. You know, and not saying that Bill Belichick is not a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's just a quarterback that's going to go ahead and go a little further from the gray area, cheat to win, and they're going to go ahead and find another way to win this game. I say that the Patriots win this game 28-25.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you with the Patriots winning this game. I feel they find a way to make teams like this look average. They just figure out what can I live with, and the Chargers at times this season you can live with certain things and then win games. So I feel like a coach like Belichick is going to figure this team out. I feel like Herbert's going to get his, because sometimes New England gives up some plays that they probably wouldn't have in previous years.
Yep.
So I think the Patriots do win this game, find a way to win it late in the fourth quarter.
Of course.
As long as Cam Newton doesn't turn the ball over,
he's not.
They'll win a game. Pretty much the games that they've lost this season is when he turned the ball over when he shouldn't have.
Like you said.
So that is something that's gonna be December are the games that they remember.
See, but think about it. December is the games where you need a running back. December is a game. Cam Newton is a running back. He's a quarterback, but he's a running back.
And they got pretty good running backs over there.
Exactly. Anyway. And what is December is cold. He's gonna run a lot. A lot of people do not want to hit him.
They still got James White over there from St. Thomas.
That's what I'm talking about.
I just think the Patriots will definitely find a way to win this game and
unfortunately
keep their
playoff run.
Keep away from Trevor Lawrence. So that's a good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thing.
We know the Jets gonna get him though.
As long as that happens, we good to go.
Jets, y'all need to win like one or
Jets,
2 games.
hopefully y'all don't get them either.
Yeah, no.
But next game I seen on tap was Cleveland and the Titans. This game is interesting because it's kind of an old school game where both teams have strong running games.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Browns got two good backs in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and then you got Derrick Henry on the other side.
Feed me.
So this comes down to, hate to be cliche, but it's going to be quarterback play. And Baker Mayfield shows you stuff at times.
Mm-hmm.
And just like how Tannehill shows you stuff at times.
No, wait. You got his name wrong.
So then you got to go to the defense. And to me, the defense of Cleveland is better than Tennessee's, in my opinion.
There you go.
So I feel defense actually proves to be the difference for the Cleveland Browns.
Exactly.
And they pull this game out because what they have to do, obviously, is shut down Derrick Henry. Or he's one of those players like you can't shut him down, you can only contain him. Mm-hmm. So if they can contain him for not a big run, because he's probably gonna pop a big run, especially late, which is what he does.
Exactly.
King Henry
gonna wear your ass down.
Out of Florida too, by the way, Yulee, where he was dominating.
We produce some motherfuckers.
So yeah, but I feel on the other side they got a better defense. So Cleveland wins this game.
Yeah.
In kind of a low scoring game to me, 20-16.
And that's why I agree with you 100%. I think that this game is gonna be defense first quarter and fourth quarter. I think you got Derrick Henry. He's going to be doing his thing. But this is the game where I really think that Cleveland Browns going to really contain him. And he's not going to get that 100-yard, 100-yard rushing for the whole game. I think that they're going to contain him to at least like maybe 60 yards, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Tannehill, that former player for the Miami Dolphins. And I've seen this player for a long time. When he has time in the pocket, he can do his thing. He's not trash. You feel what I'm saying? Even, as far as a leader, he wasn't a great leader here, but sometimes, maybe it be that environment, maybe it be whatever it is that it didn't click and it clicked somewhere else. And I think he's clicking in Tennessee, but I do think that that defense that's coming with the Cleveland Browns, like Marcus stated earlier, they're stout. Every aspect of the game, that's for me,
that's a complete defense. For me, Washington Redskins, that's a complete defense. Certain teams just gonna give you their defense just comes out of the screen, and that's what I get for the Cleveland Browns. The offense may not give you what they want. You got Baker Mayfield, second-year quarterback, kind of shaky off and on, up and down, but that's the whole point and product of being a young quarterback. You're going to learn from your mistakes, and I think that he's been learning from his mistakes. He hasn't been out there in the media talking shit, so people could go ahead and not like him more than they don't like him now, and I think that stepping back, and looking at yourself and saying like, I'm talking all this shit, but I ain't producing. You feel me? It'd be one thing you talking shit and you producing, but he was doing the complete opposite. And I think right now he's not making it about him. He's making it about the team. The team's gonna find a way to win. Sometimes the defense is gonna step up, which is a stout defense, like Marcus stated earlier. But I think the offense, they have all of the tools to go ahead and be a great offense. Some days it's gonna be this guy, some days it's gonna be that guy. Of course, if the quarterback was as accurate or had more time under his belt in Baker Mayfield, like 6-7 years, I think he would have been a complete different quarterback that you see right now. But again, he is what it is, and I think that he doesn't put him in a position to actually fail. He's doing it the way he's playing right now is how the New England Patriots had Tom Brady early on. Just do this, do that. Don't try to do too much, and then you'll go ahead and win the game. And I think that's exactly what's going to go ahead and happen. Defense's game, the score is going to be 17-14.
All right, another game which has some intrigue this week is the Steelers and the Washington football team.
Garbage ass Steelers.
The Steelers still undefeated right now, and I haven't popped my champagne yet, but it's still on ice.
So nice.
So we got one more week for the possibility of popping that champagne, but I actually think we popping it.
I don't think we're gonna pop it this week though.
I think we popping it this week. I think the football team is gonna do it. Okay. Because I feel like the Steelers are, come on. They should have probably did worse to the Ravens on that Wednesday afternoon that we saw football.
True.
I feel like they didn't really play that well. I feel like the Ravens were depleted. They didn't have a lot of their players.
True.
And they almost beat the Steelers.
Exactly.
They barely got by Jacksonville, I think. There was a couple other games that I feel like were too close. So the question of them even losing is a done deal. They may win. They may lose more than one game. I think
frauds.
By the end of the season. But I think Washington football team pulls this one out. I think Alex Smith in that running game, they got one of the best rookie running backs that nobody's talking about, Antonio Gibson. They also got the other rookie who's dominating from Ohio State, who we're watching right now, dominate Michigan State.
Oh, 28-0. I thought this was going to be a good game.
His name escapes me right now, the rookie from Ohio State, but he's a monster that's playing well, likely will win the Rookie of the Year, definitely on the defensive side. So I feel like that's going to be the difference, and they're going to beat the Steelers because unless the Steelers can get a running game, and that's the only chance that they win this game, but definitely go with the football team with the points.
No, I agree with you. I hope that the Washington Redskins defense, I think they're
not
the
football team, bro.
Washington football team. I think the Washington football team.
I think I went through that whole thing too, without saying.
But I think they have the
Redskins.
number one defense in the league. I think, as far as scoring, I think they have the number one defense in the league in score. The Washington football team. But I do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to find a way to win this game. The game that I do think that they're actually going to lose or probably have a hard time winning is against when they play the Buffalo Bills. That's in a few weeks from now. But right now, I think that the Buffalo Bills will give them a harder time than the Washington football team. Why? Because, one, the team is dysfunctional. Two, because their quarterback, Haskins, they don't know if it's Haskins. They don't know if it's the other quarterback. Again, you got the defense and defense win championships. And like I said, right now, number one in defense, I think, is the Washington football team. Even though they got all this dysfunction, so they have something to go ahead and grasp on and look forward to in the future. But I really do think that Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go ahead and find a way to win this game. I ain't even going to give a score. I just know that they're going to win the game just because. So we could go ahead and transition into the next game.
You talk about the Buffalo Bills, so you might as well talk about the Bills and the Niners.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a fun game to watch.
Definitely.
Two teams that, kind of reminded me of the old school 90s.
Why not?
These teams were
with
good.
Don Beatties and Thurman Thomas
like San
and
Francisco
niggas
with
like
Steve
that.
Young and Jerry Rice and Joe Montana, and Buffalo Bills with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas.
Don
Andre
Beatty.
Reed and Bruce Smith.
Don Beatty.
Cornelius Bennett, James Lofton, Frank Reich, who's actually the coach of the Colts right now.
How come you didn't say Don Beatty yet?
Don Beebe. I don't know.
Come on now. You gotta understand.
Of course, Don Beebe. Like I mean, you said it already, so I ain't even have to say it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a game where I actually think the Niners are going to keep this competitive, you know.
But are they going to win?
But I don't think they win the game,
exactly.
Unfortunately. I feel like Buffalo, is a pretty good team, and their defense is pretty solid. And they should come out with a victory. It's out there on the West Coast, but they ain't no crowd. It's COVID season, so I feel like it's probably going to be a nice – they're normally playing in, like, cold weather over there in Buffalo, and they're going to go out to the West Coast, the Bay Area, and play a football game in front of no fans. Come on, man. I feel like Buffalo wins this game.
Handily.
I wouldn't say handily. I feel like for the 49ers got a really good defense.
Okay.
So, and their running back is finally healthy. Unfortunately, my
quarterback accurate?
Unfortunately, my fantasy team died a slow death this weekend. Rest in peace to the hot Tua time machine. That shit died. That shit died this week, man, because of fucking Tyreek Hill blowing me the fuck out. No, but I did have Raheem Mostert also on my team, so I know about like him and his production. So he's gonna like get his. Most of the running backs is pretty healthy, and they're playing with a backup quarterback, and they beat the Rams last week.
Exactly.
So this is a team that's pretty good, but I just don't feel like they beat the Bills this week. So I feel like it's a close game, 24-17. Bills win.
I think it's gonna be like a quick game. Also, it's going to be a defensive game. Both teams got good defenses right now. But I think that, Buffalo got the better quarterback. Unfortunately, Garoppolo.
Josh Allen.
I thought that he was going to be doing his thing. But like Marcus stated, is Josh Allen, is doing his thing. He wasn't as accurate as he could be last year. But this year, I mean, he already has the size. He already has the weight.
He has the mobility.
He has the arm. The mobility is just with the accuracy, and he got that now. So unfortunately, he's in our division, the Miami Dolphins. But again, this is a game, and I think that he's gonna go ahead and do his thing. Defensive game, and he's gonna win this game. I think it's gonna be a game in 21-14. 21-14. Buffalo Bills. Matter of fact, 28-14
Buffalo Bills. And
All
that's
right.
going to transition us into
Some
a little quick
picks.
picks right now for the games that doesn't play too much of a key of a role. We really want to talk about it, but we're going to give them a little bit of respect because they're in the National Football League. First game we're going to talk about is the Colts versus the Texans. You know, we know the Texans suck, and we know that the Colts, you know, right now they're doing their thing. And I think the Colts going to go ahead and do their thing this year, this week again, and it's going to be a game 28-21 because Deshaun Jackson, he still be doing his thing for the Texans.
Yeah, I think this one's actually a high-scoring game. I think the Colts do win this game, but it's not going to be a low score for me. I feel Texans will score their touchdowns.
Yeah.
They're going to get in the end zone because of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
27-24 Colts.
About the same as me. Now transition to the next game, which is another garbage game. You know, we got Lamar Jackson possibly coming back playing for the Ravens versus the Cowboys. Cowboys right now dysfunctional like a motherfucker. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Ravens do bounce back and do show their worth, and the game is gonna be at least 35-21.
Next quick pick, we had Ravens Cowboys. Ravens Cowboys. Like it's so much I didn't even want to pick it. I mean, it's so whack I didn't even want to pick it. But yeah, the Ravens. I feel like win this game. You get Lamar Jackson back, finally coming back from COVID. Get all these players back. They're gonna be hungry, especially a team that played well against the Steelers last week. They're definitely going to win this game. I say at least by a touchdown. 21-14. Ravens over the Cowboys.
Okay.
The next game, as far as the quick pick, or what?
Saints versus the Falcons.
Saints versus Falcons. Saints versus the Falcons. I go with the Saints. Definitely. It's definitely going to be close because I think they're starting to really figure out Taysom Hill. It's actually, man, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like the Atlanta's probably going to win this game. But nah, I'm going to stick with the Saints first. I would say they score about 4 touchdowns. Give me a Ryan turnover in the end, 30-26 Saints.
Now me, I got a different outcome. Like I said, like you wanted to say, I think that the Falcons, it's a rivalry game, and I think that this the game that Taysom Hill probably gonna get a little too comfortable. I don't really know the exact score, but I do know that the Falcons will win by 3 points, a field goal. So whatever score it is, they're gonna win by a field goal. Next game after that is the Jets versus the Raiders. And we do know what the Jets are trying to do. They're not trying to win any games. They're trying to go ahead and get Trevor Lawrence. So, this is a no-brainer. The Raiders are going to go ahead and win this game. I think they lost last week, so I'm pretty sure they're trying to bounce back. And I think that the Raiders are going to win 28 to the Jets again? 28-7.
Yeah, Raiders I think will bounce back in this game, and I got this team in the suicide. The Jets, I feel like, are catching the Raiders at the wrong time because they had two really bad losses. One against Kansas City where they almost won, and then the last one where they got destroyed by the Falcons. So I don't see them losing 3 games in a row, especially to the Jets. They can't. I feel like if they were on a winning streak, maybe the Jets take them because they would take them too lightly. But they're not going to take the Jets lightly at all. So I feel like they win big time, 27-9.
All right. Well, before we get into boxing and after that, a little bit of hip hop, we still have 3 topics here. I think we're just going to pick one out of these 3. Y'all let me know which one is more, I guess, more important or has more meat to it. So one is the Snoop Dogg's Fight Club, right? The old man fights. He's starting, I guess, his own boxing league. So that's one topic we could jump into. Another one is what Carmelo Anthony said about coming off the bench, pretty much saying that, you don't want me to play with the first 5 doesn't mean I'm not a quote-unquote starter. which, in my opinion, that's exactly what that means. You're not a starter if you're not starting.
Right, exactly.
And then the third topic is one of our famed South Florida radio programs, the Dan Lebatard Show with Stu Gatz, is leaving its partnership with ESPN after ESPN cut like 500 jobs, and one of the jobs that it cut was one of Dan Lebatard's producer/personality, Chris Cody. So I don't know which one out of those three y'all want to tackle.
Shit, we could go ahead and go straight to the Carmelo Anthony, saying that coming off the bench doesn't necessarily mean that he ain't a starter. And I agree with him 100% because, like I'm just being real. Like, look what happened to Dragic. We knew Dragic was a starter all the time, but they put him on the bench so he could go ahead and give the second team a boost. You know what I'm saying? So, looking at Carmelo Anthony, signing back with the Houston Rockets, that we know that he's going to be John Wall, recently acquisition from the Wizards, and you got Harden. Both these guys want to shoot, both these guys want to score, both these guys want to go ahead, and I think one is an alpha male in John Wall, and then you go the beta in Harden, but coming off the bench, we know Carmelo is better than everybody on the bench. He's gonna come on, and then one of these individuals gonna go on the bench as far as Harden or John Wall, and then Carmelo's gonna go ahead and be able to take over. So I agree where he's coming from. I understand, other people's point of view is like if you're not starting, that mean that you're not a starter. But I mean, the Miami Heat technically did the same thing, and then when they put him back in the starting lineup, what did he show you? The same thing that he was showing you on the bench is the same thing that he was showing you on the starting lineup. It's just like coaching strategy. You want to give your team somebody that can go ahead and give you a score when you need a score. Someone that can go ahead and create their own shot, and that's Carmelo Anthony's, that's the Dragic's. That's certain people like that, Jamal Crawford's. We got individuals that they're 6 men, but they definitely can be starters. And Dragic actually showed you that, he, was forced to go on the bench, and when they brought him back, same shit like yesterday.
I feel you. This is really more about perspective, but to me, like, if you ain't starting, you're not starting. I feel what you're saying. So
it's like that somebody else on the Houston Rockets starting lineup. You got Harden, Wall. You don't tell me that Carmelo Anthony is not better than the rest of the 3 players that's on the team on the starting lineup.
Maybe at one point. Maybe at one point in his career he was, but at this point he's not good enough to start. That's why you're coming off the bench. Like, if you're not starting,
So why are you not saying the same thing about Dragic? Dragic should be an individual that came off the bench. Nah, he was not injured when he went on the bench. They just put him on the bench.
And who was starting?
Who was starting? Duncan Robinson.
And
you tell me Duncan Robinson is better than Dragic? Hell nah. You tell me none is better than Dragic? Hell nah.
But the question was, is he a starter? I mean, of course, like, you're a better player.
He's a starter. He's just choosing to do something to help the team.
But why?
Because the team has no bench.
But if you were good enough, wouldn't you be playing more? Right? If you were playing more, if you were better, you'd be playing more. So, if you're a good player in moments, great. But, like, as far as minutes is concerned, because starters play the most minutes.
I mean,
the majority.
Harden. You got Chris Paul that went over there. Chris Paul went over there, and they still lost. Westbrook went over there, and they still lost.
Well,
so it doesn't even matter. Chris Paul is a better player than Westbrook, but still, at the end of the day, Harden is trying to blame everybody else for his shortcomings. He's a person. Carmelo plays better defense than Harden. Carmelo.
Yeah, like one. That's 1A, 1B for me.
Carmelo. Again, both of them.
I feel like
both
Carmelo
of them don't play no defense.
is just now trying, dog. That's how I'm feeling. You know, he's just now trying. It's like, oh, deal. I can't. Oh, you saying I can't defend?
Nah, but you got to think about it. Like, who has
I can defend. I still got it.
Who has the bigger body? Carmelo has the bigger body. So even if he's not trying, he could play better defense than Harden. Harden doesn't try at all.
Yeah, I feel like Carmelo.
He was Harden before Harden. Nah.
You know, I think Harden is a better overall player than Carmelo.
I don't think so.
I think he does more with the passing game.
Cause he don't have no post game.
Carmelo doesn't have a great
Yes, he do.
post game.
He does have a good post game.
I mean, it's all right, but I don't know. I would take Harden over Carmelo. Close, but I take Harden.
That's where we agree to disagree.
But yeah, I think if you're good enough, that means you're playing the most minutes and you're starting. I mean, maybe in moments you could be a better player. I'm sure Kobe Bryant, in those few minutes that he was playing, yeah, he was the best player on the court at the time. But like, are you playing the most minutes? No, you're like in your 20th year, so obviously you're not going to play the most minutes. So we bring you off the bench and you come in and you give us what you got when you can. But if you're not starting, if you're not first, you're last, right? Isn't that how you say it?
Supposedly.
But yeah, what else we have?
You guys want to talk about Dan Lebatard show?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Dan Lebatard. I mean, I'll just give my opinion about the Dan
Lebatard
Lebatard show, and then you can just say what your opinion is on the situation, Wes.
Okay.
But I don't really like the Lebatard show because all they do is giggle at each other the whole time. Like, come on, man. I want to hear like some context. Maybe I'm just too much of a sports person where I don't hear enough sports. You don't get so like. If I really wanted this kind of entertainment, I would go elsewhere. Like if I'm paying for something or I'm investing my time in something, then I want what I'm expecting to get, and I don't get that from the Lebatard show. But I respect Lebatard 100%. He's home team. He's always representing Miami to the fullest. And he gives his objective opinion. And to be honest, like he's like who I am actually striving to be, at this point.
Yeah, but
dude from Miami represents.
Yeah, but what was the problem?
What happened? The
problem,
situation where apparently over there at ESPN they fired his producer and didn't really tell him of the situation, and they were boys. Obviously, it's young Cody, who's Greg Cody's son, who's the producer, and they let him go. So
but before
Lebatard felt some kind of way about that.
Lebatard said that he wanted to pay his salary out of his own salary so he could keep him onto the show because from what Chris was telling me was he's kind of, the producer was kind of like a personality on the actual show.
Right.
So it's kind of understandable why he wanted to keep him there. Not just that he's a producer, but he's actually a personality on the show. But again, regardless of the fact, I think he felt some type of way because I didn't understand if you offered that, why would ESPN just say, no, we just don't want you guys, period. So just the plain fact that Lebatard wound up leaving after offering that up, I think that he just was like, man, the motherfucker's green as fuck. Fuck y'all niggas. We gonna wind up doing our own shit. So do I agree with Dan Lebatard? I respect what he did, trying to pay for his peoples to stay on. But again, you gotta understand it. Not just him, but everybody gotta understand. Sometimes you gotta start your own shit. And sometimes this time. At this time, it shows people true colors. People that you've been with the company for years, it shows that they really don't value the years that you put in. So the best thing that you can actually do, since you already got that platform or had that platform, and you had a lot of people that was following your Dan Lebatard show on ESPN, you can start your own shit, start your own podcast, make your own money. You don't have to answer to nobody. You can really dive into sports the way you want to, and even if you get criticized, you can't get fired. So good move for Dan Lebatard, and I know he's gonna land on his feet. Him, his dad is funny as fuck, and also his producer. So loyalty is everything for me. Marcus know that, Chris know that, all my homeboys know that. So Dan Lebatard being loyal to his producer, respectable, commendable, and I know that you're gonna go ahead and find greener pastures. Now we're gonna go ahead and transition into Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg saying that he want to go ahead and start his own fight club. This motherfucker Snoop done said he wanted to start. Now I done seen the fight with Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. I like the commentary that Snoop Dogg was giving. It was like he was sitting in my crib, and I felt it. I think they should go ahead and do something like that for now on. Have someone like that to give the regular audience, not the boxing fanatics, because some people don't want to hear these old people talking about boxing. Some people want to hear some people want to say like, yeah, boy, hit his ass. Yeah, boy, yeah, you got him. Even though it's just regular talk, it just makes you more feeling like you was there with that individual watching the actual fight. So do I think that Snoop Dogg can succeed in his boxing fight club or whatever you want to call it? I think he can. It's Snoop Dogg. You're going to have a lot of people that going to go on his platform and piggyback off his platform to make their name wind up being bigger than what it was. But do I think that it's going to, be something that I'm watching like that? Nah, I don't really think I'm going to be watching it like that. Maybe the first time or even the second time. But once I wind up seeing what it is, I think I'm going to give up on it.
Man, nah, fuck that. I'm going to be watching that shit. If it's like fights that are some old legends that are fighting, I'm gonna watch that shit, like, especially if it's like, I don't know, let's just say De La Hoya, right? Let's say you had De La Hoya and you matched him up with, I don't know, like a Cotto or something, or that would be a dope fight. Or maybe who we got? B-Hop. What if you had B-Hop, right? Come back out, fight somebody like I was gonna say Roy Jones, but nah, we don't want to see Roy Jones anymore. Like, Roy Jones, we think you're good, man. You did what you did, and you're good. But there's plenty of other fights that I would want to see, so I'm definitely would watch it. I'm glad there's something like that. Now, with all that being said, though, Ice Cube did the same thing with the Big Three, though, right? And I've never saw a Big Three basketball
it's actually
game.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I hear, but I've never, see it. I don't know when it comes on or, so it never falls on my radar. So we'll see if I actually do watch it, but I'll support it 100%.
No, I do like the Big Three. I like what Ice Cube did, and that was actually smart. And I think if Snoop does what Marcus said, where it's like the legends of boxing, like, come back for like one last glory fight type shit, yes, then that shit, I think it could succeed. But if it's just he's just getting into boxing promotion, then no, that's just gonna fail. Yeah, because boxing promotion is it's hard as fuck. And them motherfuckers don't play. They have it locked down, almost like the mafia type shit. You know what I mean? Where it's just Don King had his era, Bob Arum had his era, fucking Al Heyman. I think Brian Shaw, which was like a really low level boxing promoter. I forgot what he's doing now. I think he's actually doing like bare knuckle fighting and shit like that. But that shit is a hard promotion to get into, man. Even Dana White they were gonna start Zuffa boxing. I don't know what happened with that. Yeah, they were supposed to, I think, connect with like Mayweather and Al Heyman. But that shit is hard as fuck. It's like trying to get into the mafia. These motherfuckers would rather kill you than let you in. You know what I mean? So that shit's gonna be hard. Next up would be the Benjamin Report. So
okay, I mean. Last night I did the double. I did the doubleheader last night, where I went to 2 games.
Two?
I did 2 games. I did one half.
You tripping?
With Dillard and Pahokee, Hokies a team, small school out of Palm Beach, out the muck is what they call it out there. They came down and played Dillard. Dillard has a really good player on that defensive line named Najee Kelly.
Okay.
He looks like to me could be like a 5-star type of player.
Who can you kind of compare him to?
I mean, coming off the edge, to me, like maybe a Javon Curse.
Javon Curse?
Yeah, type of player.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I feel like he has that type of body frame. He's already, I believe, 6'4", 230. Just turned 16.
16?
He's 16 years old. So, and he's already committed to Florida State. But, he's early in his commitment. He's just a junior.
Change your mind, go to VU.
You know that teenage boys tend to change their mind. I mean, I know I changed my mind a lot when I was 16. So I don't know why a lot of these schools hold a lot of stock in a player committing, especially in their junior year. Mm-hmm. Like if it's in their senior year, if they could go a few months, hold on, if that team wins or the relationship is just kept, then yeah. But anything, if you commit in junior, just take it with a grain of salt. Is basically what I'm saying.
Definitely.
So, yeah, he's a player that had a forced fumble, sack, tackle for loss, all in the first half. He was just dominant. It was almost like he was playing with little boys out there.
Yeah, that's
straight up
6'4", 230.
So Dillard, they're in the Tri-County Championship, so they won their first little playoff game. We'll see what they do in these next couple of games. They're actually playing Belgrade next week because Miami Booker T. Washington, who won the 4A state championship last year, lost to them.
Okay.
So that was a big loss. I mean, Booker T had a great season last season, and then this season, not so much. But in 4A2, Cardinal Gibbons went up to Cocoa and just won a huge game against Cocoa.
Why not?
They really have their Cocoa, yeah.
Yeah, like the strip club.
Cocoa Beach.
Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, that's the name of the city. Yeah. Cocoa.
Name of the city. It don't matter. But it don't matter.
And then there's a Cocoa Beach too. Cocoa, it's actually a city I've been to. It's a chill little laid back city if you want to go there with your dime and chill. So yeah, they went up there. Cocoa's usually a good team. It's like there's this exit too. Like you don't want to get off that exit because that's that's the hood. Straight up. So they usually have a good team. They were supposed to be competitive in this game, so it really says a lot about Cardinal Gibbons. So what it means is that the South Florida sweep is still in effect.
Why not?
So for 2 years in a row, you may have 7 state championships from South Florida.
This is what we do.
They're all in contention right now.
This is what we do.
Miami Palmetto won. St. Thomas won, which was the second game that I went to. The second game that I went to where Dallas Turner, the Alabama commit, had a block punt in this game, scored a touchdown. So St. Thomas destroyed Venice, and Venice was talking a lot of smack before the game through the media for like 5 years. This has been going back and forth.
But what happens?
Sometimes they've rumbled after games.
But
even
what happens?
After this
Ultimately,
game, they were still talking smack after they lost 29-8.
They lose,
and they still
shit.
talking smack, going off the field. Of course, there was some jawing back and forth with St. Thomas as well.
Shit don't make no motherfucking sense.
But, St. Thomas still has a very strong program, and they're keeping up 7A. 6A, Miami Central won in dominating fashion. American Heritage won in dominating fashion. Champagnat won in dominating fashion. Champagnat for 2A won in dominating fashion. And then Chaminade just got by Berkeley Prep. That was like kind of the only close game for and Miami Palmetto. Miami Palmetto was also in a very close game, but yeah, they ended up beating Vero Beach. So the South Florida sweep is still in effect. We got dynasties all over the place in South Florida. as far as high school football scene is concerned. So it's glad to see that in effect for the second year in a row, especially with Miami Palmetto, who barely even have a quarterback, and they still might beat all those teams from up north, which just goes to show you it's all about the South, baby. South Florida football is where it's at. We got the best athletes. Next week, we already have some state championships already set. Cardinal Gibbons plays Bowles in the 4A state championship. Bowles actually has the most championships in high school football with 12.
Who you got?
I can't bet against Cardinal Gibbons. Come on, especially what they did to Coco, which they wasn't supposed to do to them. It wasn't supposed to disrespect them like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cardinal Gibbons. Chaminade is playing Jacksonville Trinity Christian, which
this one's Chaminade.
That's gonna be a close game, I think. But for right now, I think Chaminade's gonna win it. Champagnat, I think, is gonna win easily. And 1A, Madison County, who was gonna go for four straight, lost. So it's gonna be Hawthorne and Baker. So no 4-peat from Madison County.
Hold on, where are they from?
Madison County is like right outside of Tallahassee. It's a small school.
And then what,
rural.
Baker? What was it, Baker?
Baker's in like Pensacola area.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got a squad?
They're small teams. It's 1A, so it's like they barely have a lot of great players. But yeah. So those are the some of the championship games set. Semifinals are set for Miami Palmetto. They're gonna play Osceola Kissimmee tonight. Next week, I mean. And St. Thomas is going to Bloomingdale, so we'll see what happens there. And so I have my picks for those games, of course, in the midweek podcast.
Right.
And then Central hosts Palmetto, which was a close game last year. So we'll see what happens.
Sweet. Who won that last year?
Central won.
Nice.
Of course. Keeping that
Let's go, baby.
Miami sweep
Central.
going. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Central right off of like 95th Street.
95th Street and like close to close to 95.
22nd Ave, somewhere around there. Central, what up?
Yeah, so 5, and then 5A, they play Tampa Jesuit at home too, in Plantation. So
Catholic school, Christian.
Tampa Jesuit, with a name like Jesuit, it must
Jesuit,
be.
Yeah, Jesuit
means
like something religious, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these private schools are really good. Cardinal Gibbons, St. Thomas Aquinas.
I mean, they got money, though.
That's where it's at. These private schools.
They got money. Yeah.
These private schools, because with private schools, you can recruit and you can recruit facilities. Oh
yeah, most definitely.
And hardware.
Yeah, so I guess we'll transition to boxing next, and I guess the boxing fight tonight will be Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia. I think
what's
we
up with
talked
Danny
about
Garcia?
that quickly like last week, but I don't think we really got into the meat and bones of it.
Right.
But I mean, you know Danny Garcia, right?
I'm not sure if I do.
All right, so Danny Garcia moved up in weight. He was a beast at the lower weight that he was fighting in, but I guess like once he moved up, he fought like Keith Thurman, and then he fought Sean Porter. He lost both of those fights, so he's really winless at this weight. And Errol Spence is there's 1A, 1B. There's Errol Spence and there's Terrence Crawford, which either one of them could be the greatest pound for pound fighter out right now.
Right.
But the only thing is that Errol Spence just came out of a horrible car crash.
Oh, really?
You ain't remember that? You ain't see that?
I don't think so.
Oh, bro. This is his first fight after this car crash. Like, if there's footage of it that you see this car,
I think I did see
just
that.
crash, and you see his body flies out of the car, bro.
Oh,
like,
no, I didn't see that.
No, woo, like nasty, and like supposedly he didn't really get like major injuries. Like I think he had to like restructure some of his jaw. Like he had like some face lacerations and stuff like that, but nothing like major internal or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is his first fight after a nasty car crash. Danny Garcia is a tough fight, but he's also winless at this weight class. But another thing is that, to me, I feel like I've seen a lot of Errol Spence interviews, and he seems, I don't know if it's from the car crash, but he seems punch drunk, like the way he's talking.
Really?
Yeah, he's talking weird. A lot of people are saying it's because, like I said, I think they had to restructure his jaw or some shit. A lot of people are saying, like, oh, it could just be the jaw. But to me, he seems like, I don't know, like a little bit slower, like a little bit.
So it sounds like from what you're saying, like this is gonna be a good measuring stick for him, but
Almost
his
definitely.
jaw is softened, and obviously, if you get hit in the jaw, it could be a problem. You may not know how to recover from that if it's weak, like what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a good enough fighter that his defense and everything is good enough where he should avoid those hits. But yeah, this is boxing. Like you're gonna get hit. Eventually, you're gonna get tested. Especially versus Danny Garcia, is a Puerto Rican from Philadelphia. He's a hard fucking puncher. You know what I mean? And he's gonna keep coming after you. So this is gonna be a big
keep
test.
Those other two fights close?
Yes, he did. The one with Sean Porter. There's actually a lot of people who said that Danny Garcia won that. The one versus Keith Thurman, that was actually his first fight in that weight class, and Keith Thurman kind of schooled him. It wasn't that close. Like Keith Thurman like clearly won, but he ain't whoop up on Danny Garcia. You know what I mean? Like, so this is gonna be a good fight. I'm gonna say that even Errol Spence at 75% should be able to beat Danny Garcia. But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that I think that crash maybe took out something from him just because of the way he's talking. To me, he sounds punch drunk.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Danny Garcia for this fight. Most people, everybody is saying Errol Spence, no matter what, they're like, yo, Errol Spence still got it. This is going to be like whatever. Like it's a hard fight, but mostly all like the other boxers and experts and Errol Spence. I'm going to go with Danny Garcia. I don't know. There's just something that seems off about Errol Spence. So this is gonna be a good fight tonight, Saturday, baby. Let's do it.
I mean, I think Errol Spence is still gonna win, but yeah, I think it's gonna be just a kind of a measuring stick for him. I could see it going the distance probably based on what you said about Danny Garcia, but I think Errol Spence wins it.
You got to see that car crash, man. That's nasty,
That's probably
man.
why.
It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
There's just like this little thing that shoots out of the car. Like I think like it starts like flipping and shit. And there's this little thing that shoots out of the car. That's Errol Spence.
Like what was the camera like? It was on.
It was like a restaurant. Like the restaurants have the cameras. In
okay.
So
Got you.
But yeah, and then the next boxing thing that I want to talk about is Clarissa Shields. You know Clarissa Shields?
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's pretty much the pound-for-pound best female boxer right now. And so she's moving into MMA. She's transitioning from boxing to MMA. She signed with the PFL. I don't know exactly what that stands for, but it's an MMA organization. It's not the UFC. It's not even up there with Bellator. But I guess she's taking baby steps. Like, Dana White invited her to like an Amanda Nunes fight, and she just loved like the way like they treated the fighters, just the promotion, the way the entrance. She kind of just liked the whole production, the way MMA did it, as opposed to I guess female boxing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I think
so. The thing is like actually on the ground because it's the difference between boxing and MMA.
Exactly.
How are you on the ground?
Exactly. She's already 25 years old, and now she's just starting to train on the ground. So that's gonna be.
Have there been other like women fighters who started on the ground late?
That's a good question. That's gonna be an uphill climb for her. But actually, Heather Hardy was this female boxer, this like Irish girl. She's from Brooklyn. And she was badass. She was undefeated in boxing. She decides, you know what? The MMA shit's looking good. Let me go there. And she's only had 4 fights, but 2 wins, 2 losses.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like MMA ain't nothing to play with because you can have the hands, but if somebody could take your ass down and just keep you there and maybe choke you out or just it's a different beast. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, boxing's still
arm bar.
Yeah, to me, boxing's still one of the hardest sports, but like. Once you start putting all that other shit in there, it's like, yeah, it's a fucking different beast, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
there's so many ways you can lose.
I think Clarissa Shields might. The thing about her is that she's a dog. You know what I mean? She's got that Terrence Crawford. She's got that Kobe mentality type shit.
Yeah.
Where she ain't gonna give up and she gonna fucking fight. Like, she don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but if you think about it though, the best to me women fighters are ones who can punch really well. You know, and that's why I feel about Amanda Nunes.
If they can teach
Cyborg back in the day.
If she could learn how, like, just the basics of sprawling and not and avoiding that takedown and keeping it on the feet. If she could learn that, like kind of what Conor McGregor does a lot, like
right.
Conor McGregor's good on the ground, but when there's somebody who's way better on the ground than him, he's good enough where he's like, okay, I'm not gonna let this dude take me to the ground.
Yeah.
Besides Khabib,
Right.
But if she learns that shit, then she could be a fucking problem.
Right.
But if she doesn't, she's gonna fucking have problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then after that, I think there's a UFC fight. There's the main event. I don't know these guys so much. It's Jack Hermanson versus like Marvin Vettori. From what I know about this fight, is Marvin Vettori is a last minute what do they call it, replacement for another fighter that I don't know if he got injured or whatever the fuck, but I know Jack Hermanson is a beast. The only thing I know about Marvin Vettori is that he had a very close fight with Israel Adesanya. So I'm going to say a lot of times these last replacements, they usually win the fights because, like, the other guy who's been training has been training all this time for another guy, and then all of a sudden it's a totally different dance partner with a totally different style.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times them replacements win as long as they're in shape and they're legit fighters. So I'm gonna go with Marvin Vettori on that one. The next one, the co-main event is actually Ovin St. Preux, which is Haitian. So
Okay.
big ups to our Haitians
All right.
out there.
Sakpase.
Yeah, and he's fighting Jamal. What was this dude's name? Hold on, I got it here. Jamal something.
You know I'm going with the Haitian though.
I'm going with the Haitian too, but let
Let's
me
go Ovins.
let me tell you exactly. It's Jamal Hill. Sorry, my bad, Jamal Hill.
Hill.
So this is a case of the old guy, the vet, which is Ovin St. Preux. He's a vet. He's been in it for a minute. At one point, he was looked at as like a motherfucker who was gonna make some noise, but he got beat a few times.
He peaked.
So yeah, he pretty much peaked, and so he's kind of like a gatekeeper. And Jamal Hill's like this new dude, young rookie type. He looks kind of weird, like just like his body style and everything looks like a little weird, but a motherfucker could crack. So
Okay.
This is gonna be one of them fights where it's like it's the young boy versus the old. So it's like if the old guy loses, he might be out the UFC. And if this if this young guy wins, then he gets the next. He goes to the next step, and he starts fighting the next elite level fighters. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with Ovin St. Preux. Ovin St. Preux, I think he's tested. He's been in it. He's a strong ass fighter.
He's like, you sound like you're describing that. Forget his name, but he's like Brazilian. He's older. He's from Miami. Is he Brazilian? He could be Cuban. He's Cuban, I think.
Jorge Masvidal? Yeah.
Not Masvidal.
No.
He's
Yoel Romero?
Romero, yeah.
Oh, actually, there's more news. Yoel Romero just left the UFC.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what is it with
he's out.
Bellator?
I don't know. I don't know who he signed with, but I saw that I think before coming here that he's done with the UFC, so he's out of the UFC, and that's about it for boxing and MMA. I'm gonna get Wes back. This is our last topic. This is our hip hop topic, and I kind of just wanted to ask them what their ideal next versus battle would be hip hop wise. Like, we know the next one is supposed to be Ashanti versus Keisha Cole, but that ain't hip hop. I mean, if y'all want to talk about Ashanti versus Keisha Cole, we already know. I think Ashanti's gonna win. I'm pretty sure you think Ashanti's gonna win. I'm pretty sure you think.
Nah, I'm going with Keisha Cole. Give me Keisha Cole.
All right, but after y'all talk about that hip hop, pick a hip hop versus.
I think Keisha Cole actually has more hits. I think Ashanti is a better voice, but I think Keisha Cole has a lot more
I disagree
hits,
with you 100% on both
but,
of those.
But you
I
gotta
feel like
understand,
Keisha
I
Cole
don't
has a
normally
better
listen
voice.
to female, like
I listen to all
rappers
music,
and
most
singers.
music.
I listen to most too, but like, come on, man, you gonna listen to a guy before you listen to a female. I'm not gonna listen to singing all day. Like, come on, man. What
It
are you
depends.
doing?
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of women singers that are better than men singers. I would say there's more better women singers than men singers.
Yeah, definitely. but still, regardless of the fact, I ain't sitting down listening to Ashanti and Keisha Cole all day. Keisha Cole, when she actually sings, she's talking about how a guy done wronged her. You feel me? Like, that's not gonna be my no, it's not. But do I like both artists? Yes, I like both. I like both artists. I think both artists definitely are great black women in our culture. Different sounds, but it is what it is. But going back to the question, like, what will we consider great versus battles? I think the Hot Boys in hip hop in regards. I think the Hot Boy, not the Hot Boys, but Cash Money versus No Limit is a great versus battle.
I don't think that's a great versus battle, to be honest.
Why you don't think so?
Because I think Cash Money is going to destroy. Like, are you gonna add all the Lil Wayne too? Because I mean, like, Lil Wayne and all the BG.
No, you gotta
all the Lil Wayne.
No,
all the BG.
We're not asking who's gonna
and
win.
And then we ain't talking about Juvenile, who arguably is the most famous of the.
We're not asking
at first, like, especially in the 90s.
We're not asking about who's gonna win. We're saying
Young Turk was solid too. He got locked
would
up.
be a great versus battle? Because all the points that you're saying, I agree with you. I fuck with BG more. I think Cash Money probably gonna wipe out No Limit also.
Wipe out.
But again, would it be a better versus battle? Because you gotta understand they was beefing early on in their careers coming up, because you had both of them from New Orleans. You had both of them, had certain rivalry people. You have Mystical, You a Whole Song, all type of shit.
Mystical is like the only one.
But again,
who had more longevity than anybody else. Mia X was dope, but she only had that one album. I feel like a lot of these guys from No Limit had one album, and that was it.
not
like
Mystical.
Not Mystical.
Soulja Slim.
Mac had one.
Who got locked up? Mac had two.
Magic had one. I feel like Soulja Slim had two to me.
Before they killed him.
Yeah. Fiend, I feel like had two actually. Fiend had two. that street life.
Yeah, but
that street life.
It's gonna be a good matchup. It's like you
See?
naming all the shit because it's only 20 songs each. So like, what you saying? Like you like
no, but
all of the Waynes,
but BG is like he gives you a good. I don't want to say 6 good albums.
But we're not talking about albums. We're talking about individual players. We're talking about 20 people with 20 songs from each. From No Limit and Cash Money. That is a good fucking
20
shit.
songs.
Well, all the people that you just said.
But can I name 20 songs? Yeah, I'll probably name 20 songs.
Look at Mark. Like, come on, you trying to renege right now. That would be a perfect
I didn't even
battle.
say C Murder either, damn.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't
Come
even say C
on,
Murder.
man. Come on, man. See, but then you got another great versus battle that you got UGK versus 8-Ball MJT. Come on, like
yo,
like come on, man. Like,
that would be another fire ass battle, like straight up, like song for song.
Come on,
song for song, like
come on.
Damn, man, UGK.
Come on,
UGK since Riding Dirty, bro.
Come on,
Riding Dirty, you
come
know,
on.
And then that.
I got a pocket full of styles. What you mean?
And
come
that
on, man.
murder.
You know what it is, man.
Murder. Come on, man.
That would be a exclusive. Another one, DMX versus Jay-Z. And Jay-Z don't want it because DMX got more fucking hits than Jay-Z. Jay-Z is well known. Jay-Z is come on, man. We got Brenda, Felicia.
Nah.
Come on, man. What they really want from a nigga. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I think after that album, I really stopped listening to DMX, to be honest.
Matter of fact,
he had 3 great
Let
albums.
me take it back. Nas versus Jay-Z.
Nas versus Jay-Z, yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Let me take it back. Nas, if anything, I would say DMX versus Ja Rule.
You know what I'm saying? Because both of them is kind of like the same.
Yeah.
But DMX is more hardcore. You feel me?
Yeah.
But that would be a better match. Let me take it back. DMX versus motherfucking Ja Rule and Jay-Z versus Nas.
Yeah, I
want to see if he's going to eat his ass again in 2020.
Of course he is. And he's probably going to have a new verse.
Come on. I can't even lie.
You know?
You feel me? What else would be a
damn, man, you already named some good ones, but the one we did talk about before is 3 6 Mafia and Bone, which to me I think is not a battle, bro. I feel like 3 6 Mafia will murder them in the third degree.
God.
Yeah.
Come on, you are tripping.
I mean, Bone.
No, man, you tripping.
Bone to me.
This is what?
With 3 6 Mafia though?
Come on, man. If anything, like it
Come
has
on.
to be 3 6 Mafia versus the Dungeon family because
No way.
Bone Thugs and Harmony is gonna kill them out the water.
Nah, you can't compare those two. I'm sorry, you can't compare those two. Dungeon Family, come on, man.
Bone
You're talking
Thugs
about.
has-
You talking
gotta
about
understand.
Outkast? You talking
You
about
gotta
Googie
understand.
Mob? You talking
Bone
about
Thugs.
Cool Breeze? You talking about Slim Cutter Calhoun? Come on, man. Come on, man. CeeLo. Come on.
Which is understandable. No, matter of fact, no. I'm tripping.
Watch for the hook.
I'm tripping. I slipped. It was supposed to be Wu-Tang versus the Dungeon family. My bad.
To me, I feel like Wu-Tang because of what they got. Because to me, Wu-Tang is more than Dungeon Family. Just the amount of.
You know who's in Dungeon? Outkast.
I just named them.
Yeah, like what are you saying?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think
Wu-Tang is forever. Wu-Tang is for the children.
Come on, man.
Wu-Tang is for the children,
Bone
man.
Thugs could go against Do or Die. You know, Do or Die and
Bone Thugs against Do or Die.
You know, yeah.
Come, Do or Die's got like 4 songs, maybe.
Oddity, but because Do or Die and Twisted is the same kind of in the same field. So even though I say Do or Die and Twisted like
together,
they're a team. They always been a team early on in their career.
I don't think they're like a group officially.
They're not an official group, but you gotta understand. It's just like you feel me. Like all of us fuck with each other. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just like you feel what I'm saying. That's what it is with Twisted and Do or Die. So I think that Do or Die featuring Twister, the tongue of Twister. You feel me? Know what I'm saying? Versus Bone Thugs and Harmony. Will be and not just that, but they had beef a long time ago. You feel me? Like everybody knew about the beef. You know who rapped, who had this style first, and all type of shit. You know all type of buzzer shit. But I really think that Twister rapped faster than every last one of them, Do or Die and Bone Thugs and Harmony. You know, and he was more clear in what he was saying. But I do think that Bone Thugs and Harmony had a little bit more harmony in. There was like a Boys to Men that knew how to rap. You feel me? Fast as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different. So I give them that.
I mean, I like Bone, man. I mean, who doesn't like Bone, man? Bone has like some classic songs like For the Love of Money, man. Like I can still play that shit like right now and ride the fuck out.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Thuggish Ruggish Bone, man. And like a lot of they shit later too.
Change the world, all that type
dope.
of shit. You feel me?
You know, of course, Crossroads, but like to me, like Bone had, I would say, 4 good albums, and Busy had a decent album. Crazy Bone, decent. Mo Thugs didn't really like, you know, like. And so once you start going it down the line, like I'm like nah. But the great thing about 3 6 Mafia is that 3 6 Mafia, to be honest, has 2 rappers that are actually somewhat decent.
Project
and that's
Pat.
Juicy J and Project Pat.
Brothers.
And Gangsta Boo had that one good album.
But
you
Gangsta
know?
Boo been gone.
But she like stopped like out of nowhere.
She
Like
stopped fucking with them because of money. Same thing like LaChat. She stopped fucking with them because of money.
LaChat was
You feel me?
gangsta as
Like, come
fuck,
on, man.
She
Come
had that
on,
one.
man. I fuck with LaChat. You
She
feel
had
me?
that one
Nigga already know.
album that was straight fire.
Yeah, she was the female
you
Project
know,
Pat,
like
but you gotta understand.
I was mad that
some
they didn't
people,
continue.
the money blind them, and that dismantles great armies, and that's exactly what happened to 3-6 Mafia.
And they had T-Rock too. I don't know if you remember T-Rock.
Yeah. And Crunchy Black. What you mean, Crunchy Black?
And Pastor Troy was actually with them at one point too. Yeah, I mean, he was thinking about when he came out with that "What's up, big talk, big game." That, yeah, not the "Ain't No More Playing GA." There was another one that was just that as the hook.
Okay.
You know, like I don't know, man. 3-6 Mafia is an underrated group for me. I think I'm just a fan. But another battle that I would like to see, but I don't know if West is really gonna feel like that because it's New York shit, man. Mobb Deep or the Roots, bruh.
Ooh.
Yeah, Mobb Deep or the Roots. Like, come on, man. Like the Roots to me. Come on.
I pick Mobb Deep.
Nah.
I feel Mobb
I mean,
Deep.
it'll be a good battle as far as I think. Like the number of hits that both the Roots and Mobb Deep got.
Yeah, but I think Mobb Deep just relate to me a little bit more, so I'm gonna kind of side with Mobb Deep. Now I fuck with the Roots, trust me, but are you really listening to a Roots album like that? Like, be real. Or are you?
I mean, I play the Roots.
You got a Roots? No. It's not. Oh, I play a Roots album. I play the Roots too. Everybody got that feeling.
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
when
you jump in your whip, and you really trying to vibe, you're not trying to be on some conscious shit. You just trying to vibe and probably get some specks of consciousness in there. I'm gonna fuck with Mobb Deep. All day. They talking about drugs. I don't do drugs. I don't do none of that shit. But again, they talk about the shit that I grew up around looking at.
I mean,
you feel me? That street shit.
I mean, I get that, but it's like after a while, you know, I mean, after 3 albums, like I wasn't listening to Mobb Deep. You think I'm gonna listen to Mobb Deep like now? I mean, maybe some of the classic shit, but the same thing with the Roots to me. Like Ill-Delph, Half-Life, and Things Fall Apart to me are classic albums. Black Thought still putting out shit. I mean,
but I ain't listening to that shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's all good though.
Just like I don't listen to most of the trap shit that's out now. Like you probably name a bunch of rappers that's out now doing trap shit. Like I don't.
Nah,
it all sounds the same to me after a while.
I fuck with Coley P, man. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Coley P. He used to fuck with Kodak Black. You feel me? I guess they had a little fallout, but I don't know what it is because that's the only thing I respect about both of them. They don't really say exactly why, you know, they don't fuck with each other. Of course, I know the aftermath of not fucking with each other. You know, I'm gonna keep it off this. But I
got another one though.
Who that?
What about Slip and Slide versus Double MG? Maybach Music against Slip and Slide.
I mean, MMG, like, that's not even a good
Slip
battle.
And Slide,
that's
you
not
got
a
the
good,
trick. You got all the trick,
battle.
though.
It's not a good battle because, one, Rick Ross raps better than Trick. Do I feel Trick Daddy in his raps? Yes. But we're talking about, like, Rick Ross on my top 10. Trick Daddy's not even on my top 10, even though I fuck with him the long way. You feel me? I go. You feel me? I'm gonna fuck with some Sundays. You feel me? That nigga do whip up a good fried rib and all type of good shit.
Yo, you waited in that line before?
I went early before.
Yo,
because of the COVID, they got
my
shit at the
homeboy
curb
stay right
around
around that shit, yo. And every time I go around there, I'm just like, yo, when the fuck am I gonna be able to go to Sundays and there's not?
It's like crack.
Yeah, when it's not a long ass line. There's
it's a trap.
They got 2 lines over there, bruh. They got one line in front of the building, and then they got the other line on a sidewalk.
Exactly.
Like,
but what that's telling you?
It can't be just food, bro.
See, but damn.
What the fuck are they serving over there?
See, but I think about it sometimes. Even if you rating not even the rap and you just on rating entrepreneurship, I'm gonna go with Rick Ross. He got Bel Air. He got motherfucking
Wingstop.
He got Wingstop. Like motherfucking white people go to Wingstops. They're not going to Sundays.
Lemon pepper on my motherfucking
They're not
wangs.
white people. Like, let me just be real with you. You feel me? Like the motherfuckers that really got it, they're not going to the hood to go get some Sundays. But they definitely gonna go to some Wingstops. Wingstops is everywhere. Sundays is only in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as with hits, fuck you. Like Rick Ross got more hits. I fuck with Trick, but Ross, he just got like. Sometimes I don't even need to skip his shit. You know what I mean? Skip his tracks.
This is a really good question though, because like new groups or new affiliations keep popping up in my head now. Can anybody really beat like Young Money though? Like not for us personally, but like on a pop stage, I guess. Lil Wayne, Jerick, and Nicki Minaj, just those three together. Is there somebody who's together technically? They're all on Young Money, right?
Hell no. Young Money won.
They all originated from Young Money.
I mean, you're talking about Nicki Minaj, which is, she do some dumb shit, like.
Or do you trump that with Cash Money? Because if you count Cash Money.
Nah, Cash Money's not the same. It's not the same. Not the same.
Right. I mean, you're counting Wayne, but it's not even close to those type of dollars. Yeah. Young Money is like IMG. IMG Academy.
They got fucking Drake, man. Like you already stole when you put Drake on your fucking team, man. Like come on, man. But regardless of the gap, regardless of the fact, I don't think nobody can, step to Young Money right now. As far as, like hits, because like Nicki Minaj was clearly like the only female holding it down for years. Right now we know it's Cardi B, but it is what it is. And then you got motherfucking Lil Wayne. He's probably the GOAT when it comes to fucking mixtapes, when it comes to features, freestyling and some shit. Right now he's kind of a little off the rocker, fucking with that lean and whatever else drug he used. But you got fucking Drake. Like come on, man. You got somebody that sings, raps, and acts. And he's fucking light-skinned. And I'm black-skinned, but you know how the world look at certain shit. If you light-skinned, they already put you already got 10 points up, So again, he got the trifecta. He got the holy grail, acting, rapping, you feel me, the looks, with the grassy. Like, come on, man. So I'm gonna go with Young Money. I can't even think of another.
What about Hot Boys though? Like, who do you think? Just Hot Boys, not Cash Money, because it doesn't count the big timers.
I think Juvenile and Lil Wayne.
Just Hot Boys.
Juvenile and Lil Wayne.
Who versus the Hot Boys?
Who will go versus the Hot Boys?
Right. Because the Hot Boys wouldn't be enough to take out.
That's a hard one to. I go back to the No Limit. As far as you had True, you had C Murder, Silk the Shocker, and Master P.
You had TRU.
Yeah, you had them, but I already know that Cash Money won.
Cash Money won.
Cash Money won hands down. Or I could think of like Soulja Slim, but Soulja Slim didn't have that many tracks with like C Murder, Silk the Shocker, and Master P at the same time. So I don't know, Cain and Abel, I don't know, but ultimately, this is gonna be the end of the MarcWes Sports Podcast. We gave you our perspective on college football, gave you our perspective on high school football in the Benjamin Report. Sundays, upcoming games with the NFL. And we gave you a little bit of, what we think would be great versus battles. Hopefully y'all could chime in y'all comments and, go into the versus battle channel and, say some of these picks and versus challenges that we think would be great to actually see. Of course, we know Ashanti and Keisha Cole is doing their thing. We both got our different perspective on that. And yeah, we'll see what it is. I think the versus battle with Keisha Cole and what's her name is on the 12th. But yeah, hopefully it wind up being what it is. And yeah, this is gonna be the end of the MarcWes Sports.
One more
Podcast.
battle before we go. MJ and R. Kelly. I would like to see it. MJ, I think it'd be a good battle.
Ain't nobody gonna fucking beat R. Kelly, man. Take away all the rape shit and all the bullshit. Anybody can beat him, it's MJ. Ain't nobody beat
MJ,
R. Kelly.
Man.
No.
Come on.
There's two different eras anyway. It's two different eras.
But yeah.
Nobody's gonna beat MJ era with MJ, and nobody's gonna beat R. Kelly in his area. So
the
this
next
is gonna be the
episode
end.
of the MarcWes
We'll figure out what we're gonna go on.
Sports Podcast.
Peace.